What's going on, mi gente? It's diegomontalvan. Almost 48 hours after the game against El Salvador to try and dissect basically what Juan Reynoso's done with La Blanquirroja, with Peru. The good, the bad, the ugly. The good, obviously Peru won 4-1 against El Salvador. The thing is, it's El Salvador, so realistically, we should have beat them, right? The good thing, I guess, is that it was mostly a B team made up of substitutes, of new players. So there are some positives there because we found a couple of players like Brian Reina who performed up to par, got his debut goal. So those things are good. But there are some things that I am a little hesitant or spectacle about, right? I think Juan Reynoso so far, I gotta say, it's been positive, right? We lost 1-0 to Mexico. It was a very ugly game from both sides, so cool, whatever. Again, it is on El Salvador, so in El Salvador we gotta win with a B team. It's against the weaker opponent, like I said. They looked all right. Again, I understand there's a B side. None of the regular starters were on the starting 11. But I think that's still not good enough. When you know that there is talent in Peru, I believe that the game should have been a little bit more mixed, right? For example, the 11, I think it's great that you started Brian Reina. I think it's great that you started Carvalho. I think it's great that you started many players. But if we go piece by piece, I mean, Carvalho, what he didn't have no saves, right? Again, it was against El Salvador. He didn't really need to make any saves, with all due respect. So did we learn anything there? No, we already know Pedro Gales is the number one, and he's going to stay the number one. Did Carvalho impress for us to say, you know what, he's the definite number two? I don't think so, to be honest with you. Then you had Araujo, Zambrano, Abraham, and Loyola. To me, Loyola was honestly one of the worst players, I guess, in the game. And so to me, it just, I guess, reinforces that he should not be in the national team. That's my opinion. I'm not sure. I guess Reynoso put him there to see that. You have other players, right? Like Miguel Trauco still. You got the Melgar players that haven't been called up yet. So hopefully, we really won't see more of Loyola. I don't know. Abraham did fine. Zambrano did fine, apart from the yellow card. Araujo was someone that I definitely wanted to see. I was surprised to see him at right back. But I was glad that later on in the game, they moved him into the center of the defense. I've been saying I think Araujo deserves a chance to be a starter. At least a shot, especially in a friendly. I think he needed that shot. He's been performing at, great levels with FC Emmen, captaining the side, scoring goals, just a key piece for more than 2 years now. So I think, yeah, definitely. The midfield of Canchita, of Wheeler Cartagena, of Peña. Peña didn't get to play because he had an injury the day before. Canchita, there was a reason, I guess, why he was one of the best players in Liga Uno, but he really hasn't surpassed outside of there. Now he is in Saudi Arabia, and we haven't really heard much from him. I think he's still a squad player that can be there, that can help out when needed. Definitely not a starter in my book. We have Raúl Ruidíaz, who I was hoping to see, and I was glad that Reynoso changed the formation to a 4-4-2 right before El Salvador game with Valera and him up front. But I think that you still lack the misconception of how it is to use Raúl Ruidíaz. Just watch a Seattle game, right? And you'll see that he needs someone like Lodeiro, someone like Jordan Morris. And sure, Valera can help out and be like Jordan Morris, but who is going to be that 10? And I think that's where you needed Cueva. I understand, again, that this was a B squad, that they wanted to check some of the players out. Again, very unfortunate for Raúl Ruidíaz to get injured by the 10th minute. Many will disagree with me here. I think that he's still one of the 3 best forwards that Peru has. We just don't know how to use him. And that is the unfortunate part, because he keeps scoring goals galore with Seattle, in the MLS, and has been the MVP. And many people will say, oh, but it's the MLS, Okay, so what? How many players do we have in Liga Uno? Let's be honest, La Liga Uno, it's crap. It's crap. So you're going to tell me that Raúl Ruidíaz is doing good in a league abroad, whether it's MLS or whatever you want to call it, he's still putting up those numbers. He's still putting up those MVP type stats. So I think, does he deserve another shot? Only if Juan Reynoso is willing to work out a system that will benefit him. If not, then I can agree with you guys and say, nah, he shouldn't be called up again. Well, obviously after in the second half, they brought in Tapia, Cueva, Carrillo, Lopez, and Advíncula, and that changed the game. It was pretty much automatic from there. We ended the game with 53% possession, which is something that I was looking at, because if we know how Peru plays, which is, possession, controlling the ball, trying to play in association, 53% possession against El Salvador, I think, is not a lot. I think that's average. I think we still need to do better. And again, like I mentioned in the first game against Mexico, we are lacking a midfielder that will help in transitions. There is no one that can bring the ball from defense to midfield, from midfield to attack. Unfortunately, we still haven't found another player like Yoshimar Yotun. I think Peña is the closest that we have to that. But unfortunately, Peña has been out of form, not great lately, and yeah, he got injured right before the game, so he didn't play. So who do we have? We need someone that can help in those transitions, because if not, I think we're going to have a lot of problems. I said it in the video before this, and I still think it holds true today. During the time when Peru was at its best, the best player, or the most important player, was Yoshimar Yotun, because of the way he controlled the game for us, the way he controlled that middle. He moved that ball around so well that I think Peru grew. Peru got noticed. Our game grew. And yeah, we need that type of player. Unfortunately, right now I don't know who that may be. And that's, in all honesty, I don't know. Tábara, I think is good, but he's too slow. A lot of people mention Arias. He had his chance. I don't know. Maybe now that Reynoso is there, he gave the Melgar players a break. Maybe he comes back. I don't know. All in all, I think there is some positives. I still, like I said, I think that we need to give Reynoso a shot. There's many that are against. There's many that are for. I still want to see what we do in November with the friendlies in November. This window was more about seeing which players are still for the national teams and which players are not. Clearly, we know that the starters are the starters. The B team, there was a couple, like I mentioned, a couple that shouldn't be there. And there are some that I still think can fight for a spot or can be squad players. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm always here to hear you guys out. Adios.